Okay. I think this is working now. Pop out this chat, close the old one. Hopefully I don't have internet issues today. That would be nice to not have. Hello, everyone. Everyone. What am I talking about? Oh, right. Is Niji Sanji falling apart? Is Niji Sanji falling apart? Okay. What's going on, Pancake? Hello, Tech Bunny. Bump, bump, bump. I need a link to my stream, which means I gotta go to YouTube, which means I need to go to my YouTube channel, which means I need to click on that. Hear myself twice. Let's hit paste. Space. And we are Gucci. We're Gucci. We're good. How was everybody's week? Niji Sanji is doing things that will cause a downfall. Yes, indeed. Interesting. I put a decent amount of thought into it. I haven't been caught up with the newest drama with Niji Sanji. Apparently somebody has been doing some other things. I'm not entirely sure on what happened on the newest and latest drama from the court. But apparently somebody was banned for something, or put on hiatus and for something silly. Let me look. But I don't think. Truthfully, I think Twitch is gonna go bankrupt before Niji Sanji. Oh, it was baseball related? That's JP? Okay. Then I'm not too worried. Have to caution VOD later? All right. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Even, yeah. I'm more worried about the North American side of things, but we'll see. Zion was terminated. Let me read. Yeah, that's the person that only debuted in December, right? And then that person was put on hiatus. So let's see what actually happened there. I feel like EN is a burden to the world phase at the moment. Why do you think that? Broke the rules in 4 weeks. The whole agency lacks organization. I think it's more. I don't. I don't know if it's the whole organization. Like, I don't want to say it's organization for the agency. I think it's hey Frank. Until they refine their apps a little bit. I don't think oh god. Okay. We got to think about this one. Cuz you guys are bringing up a lot of good points. How do I think about this? Sorry, I had to move myself a little bit. Hey Naftis. So I don't know if I want to jump into a topic like this early into the stream, but we can. Just driving right in. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Okay. Whiteboard time. Also, chat. You may hear me being a little bit congested. So I do apologize for that. Okay. Let's pause the music. Rayless's music. Fantastic music. If you guys want copyright-free, DMCA-free background music, definitely check out Rayless Cat Records. But let's talk. Okay, let's talk turkey chat. Niji Sanji. Let's talk specifically just for now the audition form. Right? So like Rayless and myself, we know more firsthand than probably most people out there that the form the form itself has changed a lot over time. Like, if you look at the form 2 years ago versus today, it's usually it's changed. Let's be real, it's changed. The reasons for said changes is because they had / ran into issues with either the audition process or previous talents. Right? So we have seen the changes so far. Now, that is good. We want to see changes. We want to see improvements to the audition forms. I want to say Niji Sanji probably changes their audition form way more than an organization like HoloLive. I think the problem is and I better like the issue. I think their problem might be the talent's previous life, lack of rules, lack of guidance. And this is like all of us theorizing right now. We are 100% theorizing. We cannot say for sure this is that. This is like this is the reason, right? Because we aren't part of the corp. We don't have the inside details. We really don't. But one thing it does feel like is, and I don't know how true this is, I really don't, but what I truly feel would help new talents more than anything, is if the new talents, instead of focusing on collaboration with their fellow gen members, focused more so collabing with older talent that has been around for a while for the first 6 months or so. Could be less, could be more, depending on how it is. But like, think of it like the real world chat. When you guys are going to work or you're starting a new job, more than likely your job isn't going to pair you up with the guy that just started there 3 months prior. Or they're not going to pair you up to learn things with somebody that has only been there like since you got there an hour prior. typically they pair you up with somebody that's been there for a long time, knows the ropes, knows what the company expects, knows the company values, so on and so forth. Yeah, shadowing people. Yeah, exactly like that. Shadowing people to know the ins and outs, right? I think that's probably what happens. I do not doubt for a second they get training. That I know for a fact they do get training. But from the date that they accept the after like they get past the audition, from when they debut, it's a very short window. It is an extremely short window. So any training they do get is rapid fire and just thrown at them, and then they're expected to remember absolutely everything. So having somebody shadow, or having the new talent shadow the old talent for an X period of time, would be a better thing to do. Now, they do look up to the older talent, call them senpais, sensei, so on and so forth. I don't know if there's a lot of that happening in the background, right? Publicly, we see it, but is it actually happening behind the screen, behind the curtain? I doubt it, considering the things that we've been seeing happen day in and day out. Don't they practice their audition streams? They might practice their audition streams, but that is the audition stream. That is a stream, right? So no. And for the people that don't know, they like when talents go live and so on and so forth, it isn't scripted. None of what they do is a script. A lot of it is like they might have like a guideline of what they want to get accomplished during the stream. They might have a list of, hey, we want to achieve this, we want to do this, we want to do that. But it's not a script. A lot of live streaming you can't script. Videos, sure. Live streaming, that is extremely hard to do. So unless it's a pre-recorded live stream or a pre-recorded video, which for the most part Niji Sanji doesn't do, except for like their debut videos and so on and so forth, all of it is just off the seam of their pants. I'm doing good, Sakura. How you doing? So I think truly what would fix all these issues, or what would fix the issues, is quite simple. Quite simple, right? Mentorship for X amount of time. And it, like, minimum, I would say 3 months for any new people. Hey, Annie. Then a review process and discussion. I'm assuming they're doing this, but I don't want to say for sure, but I'm going to assume they do this, where they review the talent and have a discussion of what they can improve on and what to look out for, right? Because, you know, and I know they're probably guilty of this. I know other agencies are definitely guilty of this. They hire the talent, right? And because the talent had like X amount of subs, following, and so on and so forth in their previous life, they expect to have the exact same skills, values, and so on and so forth 100% transferred over. And the thing is, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, this is how I think about it in my head. When it's something that you've built up, your brand, your image, you are a hell of a lot more careful with that than you would be if somebody gave you an audience, gave you viewers, gave you subscriptions, gave you a model, right? Because you're given something, you're a lot less cautious than if you worked and built it all up from the ground, which a lot of the previous talent did do, right? And that's why they were a lot more careful with their previous branding than they are with their current one, I think, at least. So having this review process can really help narrow things out, and it gives management a chance to be like, hey, you know what, on this stream on this day you kind of went a little bit too far, bring it back a little bit, even if it's like once a week, until, and I'm not saying they have to do this forever, but eventually, right? Do you think Niji Sanji needs to create new content to compete with Hollow? Because what I see is kind of following the trend. Yes, exactly, Matthew. We're going to talk about that in 2 seconds. we are going to talk about that. But yeah, what would fix this? Mentorship, review process, and honestly, what probably could help as well, it feels like all the talents are competing with each other, right? And it feels like they compete for the same audience. And not just competing with each other in the same generation, in the same release, but like previous ones as well. Hey, Blubber Muffins, how you doing? So I think that's the problem, right? Now, how to fix this is start expanding the brand beyond what it is now. Is Niji Sanji competing with VShojo? No. I truly do not think Niji Sanji is competing with VShojo. The reason I don't is because VShojo is mostly Twitch. Niji Sanji is mostly YouTube. Niji Sanji is YouTube. Where Niji Sanji and VShojo, the only place they would compete is on VODs or evergreen content. But the problem is Niji Sanji doesn't make any evergreen content. And this is another thing that would fix the issue. Talent / agency. I think this one should be more on the agency than the talent. Agent. I think the agency should be responsible for this, not the talent. But making content from the live streams and posting it on the channel, right? A great example is if you guys look at Dr. Lupo, Dr. Disrespect. Wow, there's a lot of doctors. But those are fantastic examples of where they're going, where they only stream on YouTube, right? But they edit up their content, their live streams. Oh yeah, Mista, sure, yeah, Mista too. But they're editing up their live streams and making those into dedicated VODs. And there isn't a lot of people in Niji Sanji, if any, probably 1 or 2, that's doing that right now. And they're missing out on a massive market because this is 100% of their problem. 100% of their problem. Cold stop. Now I'm thinking about it. There's more these days. That's good. I'm gonna call this old thinking, right? And I'm so freaking guilty of this. So freaking guilty. So freaking guilty. So okay, so Mista does it too. Okay, so you guys know the ones that do it, so that's good. Old thinking is I'm not going to edit anything, right? I'm not going to edit anything. If people want to watch me and my content, they will watch the whole VOD. And this is like the downfall for a lot of Twitch streamers too, because they have this exact same mentality. They really do. So, their YouTube channel, Nijisanji Official, makes shorts out of the streams of their livers. That is so useless. The shorts should be on the channel that the shorts come from, not on a completely different channel. Because the main Nijisanji channel is going to have a whole bunch of different people. What if you have a favorite VTuber? Chat, we all have our favorite VTubers. Let's be honest. Let's be very honest. You don't like every single Nijisanji member out there. I literally only watch one and one only, and it's a pretty easy guess for you guys to figure out which one. Right? Like, honestly. So why am I going to subscribe to a channel? Why am I going to watch shorts? Why am I going to scroll through the shorts of other people, of other livers, of other talent that I care nothing about? I literally don't care about 99% of their other talent. I care about the one other talent. That is literally it. Right? Some of you guys will watch 2, 3, or 4. But you know what? If I'm already subscribed to Scarla, I want to see Scarla shorts from Scarla. Not Scarla shorts from a completely other channel that has everybody else mixed into them. That's not how that works. It really doesn't. Like, think of it like of I'm trying to find an example for TV. Game of Thrones having Game of Thrones clips not on their dedicated Game of Thrones YouTube channel, but on HBO's. Like, HBO has a whole bunch of other stuff on there. Like, no. So, did VTuber Clippers stop existing? I hope VTuber Clippers never stop existing, because they're the ones that literally make VTubers successful. Let's be like very honest. There's a lot of successful VTubers that would not exist right now if it wasn't for the Clippers. There are Nijisanji talents out there that wouldn't, I strongly feel, wouldn't be as successful if it wasn't people clipping. Clippers are make the communities grow. But okay, so anyway, old thinking. I'm not going to edit anything. If people want to watch me, they'll watch me and my content. They'll watch the whole VOD. And some of these streams are 4 hours long. Right? I don't know about you guys. For example, I've talked about Landmark so many times. And like, so many times. Landmark is an Escape from Tarkov streamer. I will never watch a Landmark stream. I don't have the time or the patience or the brain cells to watch an entire Landmark stream. What I will do is go to Landmark's YouTube channel and I will watch the Landmark highlight VOD of what he did on that particular stream. Who he killed, how he killed them in Escape from Tarkov. That's how I consume content. That's how a lot of people consume content. Right? That is why a lot of people say, make sure you put timestamps in your VODs, blah, 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 because people don't want to watch everything. They just want to go to the thing that they want to see. Right? So anyway, that's old thinking. New thinking, which I think all of them need to subscribe to, need to do. And if the talents don't have time to do this, right, the agency needs to step up and step up and do this for the talent. Because you cannot tell me the agency does not have the funding to hire editors for these very busy talents. Because I know these talents are busy. I know they barely have time to edit or do anything else because they're doing 50 million other things, and it's not fair for the talent to like have to find an editor or do the editing themselves. New thinking is have a dedicated editor. Sorry, chat. You're gonna hear me sniffle. I apologize. Have a dedicated editor, right? That edits for 2 or 3 other talents Okay? And just hear me out on this one, chat. Hear me out on this one. That edits for 2 or 3 other talents in Niji, right? Okay? And that's all their job. Now, why do we want to have an editor that edits for 2 or 3 other talents and not just for the one talent? Like the one, like having one editor for one talent is an acceptable thing. It can happen. But why is it better to have the one editor try to do 2 or 3 people at once? And there are editors that do 2 or 3 people. Like, for example, the editor for Trash Taste, he does Trash Taste, Connors, Anime Man, and like 4 or 5 other people. Not just experience. I gotta make sure I spell this word right. Ah, Truffle's got it. Truffle's yes, Truffle, yes. Consistent content / feel, right? Right? You should have a consistent feeling from, you know what to expect. You know exactly what to expect. So if I watch Scarla and then I watch I don't know, Mista, right? As long as their content is similar in what they make, and that's the key, right? You don't want like somebody having editing style as Mista and then trying to do it to somebody that doesn't do the remotely close same content, so on and so forth, right? They gotta have similar, but honestly, just familiarity attracts people. It feels familiar, and then they could share some viewership as well. But it also makes it easier for the editor. It makes it easier for the talent. So, but yeah. Well, by the way, the shorts posted on Niji Sanji, they're edited by Petra Gurin. She's literally the editor for all of them. That's awesome. That's good. But I strongly feel the shorts need to not be on Niji Sanji's official's channel. It really doesn't. It needs to be on the talent's channel. It has to be on the talent's channel. And if there are talents that are doing that and doing VODs like you guys have stated that they are doing, then really we're going to see if those particular talents get a lot more viewership and so on and so forth. But there's another thing that the talents need to do. And this is underneath the new thinking as well. We see fan accounts do this. We see clippers do this. Please correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Because I can't literally follow everybody in Niji Sanji, so I'm really relying on you guys on this one. Posting content. So, aka our shorts on other platforms. Other platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Insta, etc. Whatever's out there, I think for Niji Sanji to really grow, to really expand their audience, to stop sharing the same audience for the most part, they have to post everywhere else other than just YouTube. There's a couple in Ian that post shorts on TikTok. Okay, if there's a couple, they're probably getting more success and polling people. Because remember, chat, remember, just like Twitch, not everybody knows of Twitch. Not everybody likes to watch things on Twitch, right? There's been you guys in the past that literally have told me you'll never go to Twitch, you'll never go watch anything on Twitch, anything like that. But imagine, for example, if Coca-Cola only did advertising at baseball games. Would Coca-Cola be as large as they are today? Probably not. Imagine if the car dealer Ford only 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 advertised their products at the Daytona 500. Like, they would not be where they are today if they only did that. It's crazy to do that. So, posting content on other platforms to expand the name of your brand is very crucial. And not just posting shorts, but literally take out ads on Google. Google is like what, the #1 platform out there? Yeah, Bilibili too. Yeah. I've recently heard of Bilibili, and apparently that's growing quite a bit. But like, take out ads on Google, post on Bilibili, like literally, like you gotta get your stuff out there. Why is it that we see the Idol Corp, that agency, post on their? I see literally advertisements on Google search results for Idol Corp. I've seen, I don't see them anymore, but Idol Corp advertisements when you type in VTuber into YouTube. Like, your audience, your potential audience, isn't always on the platform you're streaming. You have to pull them in. That's why the top 1% of Twitch has YouTube channels. Right? The top 1% of Twitch, for the very most part, wouldn't be where they are today if they only made content on you or on Twitch. Like, honestly. And if you look at the top 1%, any of them, chat, if you go to any of them, you're going to be pretty hard pressed to find any of them not having a YouTube channel, not having a TikTok, not having a Twitter. So Niji Sanji really needs to really spread that stuff out there. Okay. So another thing that I think is happening right now, which is kind of similar to what we saw on the thumbnail of this particular live stream. I'm hoping you guys saw my current thumbnail. And it didn't pull a thumbnail from the last stream, which YouTube sometimes likes to do. I thought I'm going to use, what's a word that's similar to that thing he was holding, but not that word. Okay. Holding a banana. We're going to call it a banana. A ditto? Okay, yeah, we'll call it a ditto. We'll call it a ditto because it basically, it kind of like a Pokemon. Yeah, it's basically a Pokemon for some people. But so they're holding a ditto. And I'm thinking about it because, like, just a week or two prior, somebody was let go from Niji Sanji because they stated so many bad things, some horrible things. We got other people saying that they're not going to care about what their audience says, which I think is a absolutely good thing for them to do. But the ditto thing caused a lot of controversy. There was a lot of people that were angry about it. There were some people that were okay with it. Some people mentioned that streams and the Twitter should be marked 18 plus, which, let's be very honest here, if you mark anything 18 plus on YouTube, on Twitter, or whatever, you're going to lose a massive following because of it. You're not going to get as many people showing up to your live streams because literally YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff kind of throttles you a little bit if you have a dedicated 18 plus thing and you're kind of like marked as that, right? So but we've seen some Niji talents doing stuff that isn't very wholesome. or PG, which, let's be very honest. Let's jump into our time machine. All right, chat, class, let's hop into our time machine for a minute. Okay, everybody get on the bus with Miss Frizzle. We're going on a trip. Okay, we're going to go back a couple of years. All right, now we're back a couple of years. All right, class, let's get off the bus. Now let's take a look at Niji Sanji from a couple of years ago. Yeah, back then, Pluto was a planet. But what do we see for Niji Sanji? They were very much, I'm going to put mostly, because they were PG. Yeah, pre-Luxium. Yeah. Pre-Luxium for the most part. But they were very much PC. They were also what? They were more wholesome than the newer gens. Right? And let's be very honest. A couple of years ago, let's be very honest, a lot less issues. Right? Like, there wasn't any other issues on Twitter every other day. Well, for one, the company wasn't as large as they were, right? That's always going to be a factor. Michelle, you're absolutely right. NSFW sells. It does, for sure. But there was a lot less issues. There was a lot less controversy. There was a lot less people being or graduating at the time. Right? But yeah, there was a lot less talent at the time too. But I really wondered to myself, and I was talking to a friend about it too, and I stated, why is the newer talent the way they are, and seemingly wanting to speed run getting fired? I honestly thought that when I saw the ditto. I'm like, wow, that manager must be freaking out right now, losing their mind, blah 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 blah. Seeing some tweets from the talent, or recent tweets from the talent, saying that they don't care about people, blah 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 blah. And then I thought about it. I thought about it long and hard. No pun intended. No pun intended. They're not speed running getting fired. That's not what they're doing at all. Actually, and this is one thing that I've noticed for a very long time. If you look at the majority of Niji Sanji, I'm not saying all of it. I'm saying, yeah, I'm not saying all of it. I'm saying most of it. Most of Niji Sanji do similar things. They really do. Right? Most of Niji Sanji play similar games, make similar content, unless you're Scarla or other people, right? For the most part, they're almost a copy pasta of each other. And like we were mentioning way up here on the whiteboard, they're sharing an audience, right? They really are. They're for the most part sharing the vast majority of the audience. So the reason why we're seeing dittos and more lewd and more other things is to really pull a new audience. Because let's be real here, chat. If you were say so, right? There's a lot of people that aren't say so probably wouldn't watch you, because say so viewers attract a certain type of viewers. NSFW streamers attract a very particular set of viewers. So not doing say so streams pulls in a completely different viewer base. Because let's be very honest here, right? Let's super honest. If you grab the most wholesome, I don't want to keep saying wholesome, because wholesome means different to everybody. If you got the most safer work VTuber out there, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the most nudity, not safe for work VTuber out there, right? So they're both VTubers. That's the only thing they have in common. They're both 2D, right? They're both and whatever gender, right? You got one that's very, very, very well dressed, professional. I don't even want to say professional, mostly covered. And then you got the other one that's really not covered that very much and very plays into the sexual aspect of anatomy and so on and so forth. The very conservative VTuber, their viewers isn't really going to go all the way over to the very lewd VTuber. And the very lewd audience, that is what they subscribe to. That's what they look for. They're not going to go to the very covered VTuber. They're not. Right? They're not. And we see that in society all the time. We see that in media. We see that in movies. We see that entirely. So this is why we're seeing the dittos. This is why we're seeing, especially on their Twitters, where they're going for the really boyfriend experience. And that's what they're doing. That's why they're doing it. It's pulling in a new audience, and an audience they don't have to share, for the most part, with the rest of Niji. Right? So anybody that's ever done my VTuber audition form reviews, some of you guys, I drill into you guys, again, no pun intended, of what makes you special. Honestly. What are you going to do to pull in a new audience for Niji Sanji? You guys that have done that audition thing on Patreon, right? Where I review your guys' application forms. I literally ask you guys that. Because Niji Sanji needs that. That's what they're doing. But isn't that new audience potentially considered problematic due to the type of content being put out? Very good question, King. Very good question. Yes and no. Let's be honest. Let's be very honest. There is a yes and a no, but there's a yes and a no to the non, or for the safe of work people too. Now, for the for the not safe for work, they will have issues with people crossing the line, right? Shipping, because let's be honest, the community loves to ship VTubers in an agency together. Oh my god, it's like it's like sliced bread. They love it. Stalking isn't just for not safe for work. I had a stalker as a VTuber, right? I've talked about it on streams in the past as well, right? I've had my stalker. They're gonna, and even if you are a safe for work stalker, you're gonna have those too, right? So it's not just for not safe for work. It's gonna be there, right? So you're gonna have stuff. You're gonna have people doing that kind of thing. Safe for work, right? And this is from what I've personally seen. Chat, please again correct me if I'm like completely wrong, because I love to admit what I'm wrong. But they also have people crossing the line. And they also have people shipping all the time. When Niji was Say So, they didn't have as much drama as they do nowadays. I agree with you. I do. I 100% agree with you. If there are VTubers, because what I'm about to say might trigger some people. If there's people in the audience right now, if you happen to be a VTuber that only lives on Twitter and you don't make any content anywhere else, and you're not a huge fan of me because of things I've said in the past, please just do me a favor, turn off the stream for like 5 minutes. If you don't mind. Yeah. So the thing is, Niji for sure didn't have that kind of drama before, right? But Niji did grow quite a bit. Their audience has grown a bit. The main problem and the main issue of Niji getting in trouble are people that mostly exist on Twitter, that mostly have nothing else to do, nothing else to accomplish, are wannabe VTubers. Again, this is from my personal experience, from what I've seen on Twitter, and haven't made any kind of content of their own in their life. The fans that I have seen, when I have gone through the negatives and the positive tweets, and it's mostly the negatives, really mostly live in the quote retweets. They really do. The vast majority of them live in the quote retweets. When there's a VTuber not doing something wrong, they go to the quote retweets. They don't really go to the comments. So you can really like filter them out. The people in the comments are usually okay. They usually don't care. The people in the quote retweets are usually VTweeters or VTubers that stream once or twice every month and then have a problem because it causes them PTSD of some kind. I will disagree, because my slight deep dive I've been doing with Niji does show a lot of more of the drama in the JP side. It just exists purely on the JP sites, so it looks more clean. Yeah, that too. Yeah. I'm mostly talking about North American, because I'll be honest with you, Koikat, I know almost nothing about the JP side, just because I don't read Japanese and I don't care to do any kind of translating or watching other people's opinions of what somebody said in a completely different language that they barely know what they said. But honestly, that's what it is, right? There is a lot of people that go on hate trains for the dumbest things, right? There's also a lot of people that go on hate trains for minor misunderstandings. We see it on Twitter all the time. And that's where we see a lot of the negative feedback and then in the backlash is on Twitter. Right? Let's say the Ditto thing blew up and it was a huge negative thing. Let's be honest. We would probably see that in their YouTube comments as well. And when I searched that person's YouTube comments after the stream and so on and so forth, I really didn't see anything bad. I didn't see people trying to cancel them. I didn't see anybody really mention anything negative. There is the person in there here and there that does that. And I really encourage all of you guys to go check too. Next time a Niji Sanji member gets into any kind of drama, check out their comment section of their live streams. You see there's a lot of people on the comment section on their YouTube live streams that don't care. But you see a lot of people on Twitter in the quote retweets caring. Probably a reason for that. Yeah, it's a ditto of a kind. Look up Hex Sakura. Okay, let's look up Hex Sakura. The ditto thing barely registered with me. I thought it was just funny, to be honest. Yeah, okay, so that's the thing though, right? You thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. But there were people that had legitimate problems having mental breakdowns over it. It wasn't even real. It's a picture. But they were having flashbacks like it was Vietnam or something. Sakura. Oh my god. My nose. Sorry. I apologize. My head is not here. I saw that, I smiled and moved on. Yeah, exactly. What did they do to get canceled? Three-day debut, fans, relationships, trivia, external links. What do they do to get canceled, chat? Help me out here. Somebody write it. Oh my god. Okay. I'm drinking a little bit of water. I apologize. My coworker got me sick. That's the only way I got sick. You have no clue? Okay. The thing about some people will find a certain joke offensive, even if the streamer didn't mean it to be offensive. It just comes down to, it's the thing is, it's not even jokes. That's the problem, C+ Hero. It's not even just jokes. Statements. So, chat, the other day, we're not going to go into a deep discussion about it. The other day, I made a tweet. And we talked about it on stream. The tweet I made. What did I say? What did I say? I said, what did I say here? Remember. Okay, so this is the tweet I made. Remember, any tweet you make is a reflection of yourself and your brand. If you want to really grow and foster a quote-unquote wholesome, right? Wholesome community, then you shouldn't be tweeting negative content. That was a fairly base tweet. Wasn't very controversial. Golly gee willikers, the people in the quote retweets, they had a breakdown thinking about it, talking about it. It wasn't a hot take. It wasn't anything bad. But God, the quote retweets literally calling me a fraud, calling me fake, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, saying that I'm a horrible representation of the VTubing community. I haven't helped a single person. That was just me. I'm nobody. I'm pretty much a small VTuber for the most part. I really am. Right? Yeah, and the dude I try to disprove, well, which I did disprove and then had another mental breakdown afterwards, that too. But like literally saying that to me of all people, that like I'm trying to steal people's money and da-da-da-da, it's like, holy crap. But like, honestly, similar things happen to Niji Sanji members as well, where they could have a very base tweet that's not sexual, that's not triggering, that's not blah, 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 to the vast majority of the world, 99% of the world, and just takes out of context and gets steamrolled. Even if they're proven wrong, they're going to stand there and say they're right. So, yeah. But is there an aspect of Niji Sanji that goes into the not safe for work that can cause more problems than not? Yes, absolutely. there is also things in the safe for work, we just may not have seen it yet, of where it could be a very negative thing as well. Right? Does as does not safe for work sell? For the most part, it does, yes. But and this is the problem, and this is what I'm hoping the people that do this in Niji Sanji don't run into. But this is a problem that the vast majority of small VTubers run into when they do not safe for work content, is they make the not safe for work their entire brand, right? This is the risky thing for not safe for work people or for Niji Sanji members to do, right? They make it they make it their entire thing. They really do, right? They live, they breathe literally everything not safe for work, right? The problem is, and we see this all the time in the VTubing agency, right? Someone always, and Qui-Gon Jinn said this better than anybody. There's always a bigger fish, right? But somebody always outludes you, goes further than you are willing to go. Always. 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 That always happens. Always will happen. Will happen. Unless you don't make not safe for work your entire brand. Okay? Don't make it 100%. Make it 80%. And the other 20% of your brand is something else that brings in new people and makes people come back. That is the caveat. That's what they have to do. And there are, for example, there is a lot of lewd live streamers, flesh and blood, flesh tubers, that exist on Twitch. Right? Twitch is going to be an amazing example for this one, right? Twitch had a minor problem of lewd streamers, right? That really skirted the rules and lines and so on and so forth. A lot of those lewd streamers that were in the just chatting section and so on and so forth, right? Now they're in hot tubs and pools and so on and so forth. But a lot of those people aren't around anymore. Right? The top ones, the tippity top, the ones that were the absolute success, right? The very tippity top, they're still around, of course. They're doing their loot things still, right? But I personally saw, not saying I've watched a lot of that, maybe I'm saying a little bit too much now. I did see, though, I'm not going to say how I saw these, but I did see a shift in content that the lewd streamers made into other content. Right? And the ones that made the shift, yeah, research purposes, of course. But the ones that made the shift are still around with a decent audience size. And I encourage all of you guys to literally like look into this yourself. And you'll see I'm right. But yeah, these lewd streamers that couldn't be at the very tippity top, they knew they couldn't beat the people at the very tippity top, stayed in that category as long as they could. They saw that there was an end coming for them, made a gradual shift into other things, and now they stream different games, they make IRL content that isn't lewd, so on and so forth. And they were able to stay in the game. Something similar will have to happen to the people in Niji Sanji that are solely focused on not safe for work right now. They're eventually going to have to make that shift into other areas of content creation. And by not safe for work, chat, I mean, like, again, 100% of their brand is not safe for work. That is their main focus. I'm not talking about people like Scarla, right? Scarla has a little bit of lewd things on the line of lewd things here and there, right? Scarla makes so much great content that has nothing to do with not safe for work. She really does. You can tell everyone you go to in the category to watch others. Yeah. So yeah. Can I say something that's controversial yet brave? I'm tired of not safe for work VTubers complaining that they're being lewd when their entire brand is not safe for work. I gotta think about that one. Oh, Chucky fun? Yeah, that is some of that. Yeah, absolutely is 100% marketing. Oh yeah, no, tons of marketing. Tired of not safe for work VTubers complaining that they're being looted when their entire brand is safe for work. Sakura, that's a thinker. I think there's a I think it comes down to that line, right? It's that line of a like. So there's, oh crap, sorry, didn't mean to hit play on that. But there is a line, right? So let's make our imaginary line real quick. So there's this line that the streamer has for not safe for work that they feel comfortable doing / talking about. Okay. The problem is the audience, a lot of the times, from what I've seen, will cross over this line that we have here and goes usually far beyond what the streamer is comfortable seeing and having. Right? So I think that's where the problem is. Hello, Mochi. I think that's where the problem is. And what it is, and this is not just like for not safe for work streamers. I think this is something that even safe for work streamers, even all of you guys, if you guys are VTubers, non-VTubers, right? And especially you non-VTubers, because I actually ran into this myself when I was a flesh tuber. But having boundaries set up and never ever crossed, ever, right? So when Senpai first started out, you guys, some of you guys, I'm hoping not everybody, but some of you guys have seen my old cringe hoodie, right? The one that's really not appropriate to watch, to see nowadays, right? Senpai 1.0 hoodie, right? Senpai 1.0 was very not PG. No, pre-SAO. I was far from PG, let's be honest. Be very honest. I was always a lot more vulgar. We had dumbass topics. And I didn't have proper boundary set up, and I had a particular viewer mention every stream how they would like to do whatever they could to get me pregnant. I think that's the PG way of me saying that. Boundaries. You guys got to set them. And I let that happen for so long. It made other people uncomfortable, made me uncomfortable, but also made other people uncomfortable. Once I put up the boundaries and I never let anybody cross them, that's when I noticed I was getting the community I wanted to foster. So that's something that you guys can think about for yourselves. How much discretion are we allowed to use senpai as in naming? What do you mean by that, Michelle? But yeah, chat, boundaries are very important. Rules are very important. And don't let people skirt the rules. Like, I know this is hard. And I know it's really hard when you guys have 1 or 2 viewers. You don't want to lose that 1 or 2 viewers that you work so hard to get. I was the exact same way. If you let people start walking all over you, if you let people be laxed on the rules, it will be an absolute poop show. Really. It will be an absolute poop show. So don't do it. Put up a boundary, put up rules. Don't let people cross them. I understand putting up your boundary is very mature and good content making, but senpai, sorry to sound like a jerk. No worries, C+ hero. But if somebody isn't comfortable, okay. But if somebody isn't comfortable with what I do, can they just move on? Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely, C+ hero. If somebody's not comfortable with whatever content you make, guess what? There is thousands, believe it or not, chat. Oh my God. You're going to have your mind blown. There are thousands of other VTubers on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter that they can go watch. Even if it's a friend and your friend isn't comfortable with your live streams, go watch someone else. Absolutely go watch someone else. Can you have not safe for work content with fair boundaries? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So here we go. Not safe for work boundaries. We'll do a couple. Right? We'll do a couple. I'm going to just give you guys some quick examples. You guys can figure out the rest for yourself if you're a not safe for work streamer or content creator. But honestly, there are boundaries you can have for not safe for work as a content creator, right? So you can literally say no shipping, right? You can say no drawing me, and this is all within reason, drawing me with other VTubers without my consent. I think that's perfectly fair, right? There are no XOXOXO talk. Actually, let's take out the last one. So chat, imagine if there was no O's there. Say those O's didn't exist, right? None of that kind of talk, right? No RP. I don't know why, but people love to RP and not safe for work streams. I don't know what it is, especially VTuber streams. I don't know why that is. I don't get it, but it happens. So, yeah, and no unsolicited pics. Yeah, absolutely. That was actually a rule I had to establish very early on in my VTubing journey, or Senpai journey. Because my God, chat, the pictures I've received in my career. But the thing is, just because you're a not safe for work streamer doesn't mean you can't have boundaries. Doesn't mean your audience can't go far or cross a line. You are, believe it or not, chat, we're not an AI. We're not a dog, a goldfish, Klaus, or Timmy down the street. We're humans, right? For the most part, a lot of us are humans. I'm hoping the vast majority of us are humans and not aliens from Mars or the T-800. But let's be honest, we're humans. We have feelings. The problem is, and the thing you guys got to think about as well, and this is the problem for some people that are not safe for work, that aren't ready for this, not prepared for this. People don't always see a human behind the screen because they don't see a human. Right? Think about it this way. For you guys that are old enough that live through the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, it is so easy to trash talk those kids in the lobby because you don't know, for one, who they are. Two, you don't see their facial reaction. You don't see them taking the insults, how it affects them. You don't see it. You'll never see it. Same thing with VTubers. A lot of people, we can't see their facial reactions, right? You even though there's a camera pointing at me, capturing my face, capturing Gura, capturing Iron Mouse, right? We can't see when they're sad. Probably because they don't have the emote set up for it or the facial capture set up for it. But there was one streamer that got a lot of hate for thinking about streaming streaming Hogwarts Legacy, right? We're not going to get into that discussion if it's good or bad to stream, whatever. But they were talking about it on their live stream, crying, and all we saw was the VTuber smiling, the model itself smiling, and she's crying her heart out, and we see smiles and neutral faces. You can't see the person hurting on the other side. So there's a dissociation. I think that's the word I want to use, right? Where people don't think we're human. So, that's why we gotta have boundaries, even if you're not safe for work. And I could promise you, as somebody that was a flesh tuber, I got a lot less harassment when I had my IRL live cam on than I do as a VTuber. I've gotten more negative everything being a VTuber in a less amount of time. I was a flash tuber for, God, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. I've only been VTuber Senpai for what, 2.5? Almost 3 years now? Think about it, chat. Think about it. Also, great questions tonight. I'm glad. Very long talk about this topic. I like it. What made you switch being a VTuber? One, and this is a story I've told many, many times. One, this was a ha-ha, he points redeem on Twitch, turned me into a VTuber from my Flash person, from my Flash tuber. But one thing I've noticed when I was more doing VTubing more and more and more and more, as people redeemed it more and more and more and more, I didn't have to worry about my appearance. I didn't have to worry about what I looked like. I didn't have to worry about if I had a blemish on my face. I didn't have to worry about having my hair clean. I didn't have to worry about things that flash tubers normally have to worry about. Let's be honest. I felt more comfortable. I felt there was less of a parasocial relationship than anything. So, yeah. And that's why I stayed being a VTuber. Well, amongst a million other things, mostly because I really love helping out people and getting into VTubing, so on and so forth. And you guys have heard me say that, spelt that like a good zillion times, but yeah. I like the idea of hiding behind a mask, how I can show you the parts of me. Want to not show the, yeah. Well, you know, another cool aspect that a lot of you guys don't think about? You guys know what TwitchCon is, right? Right? For the people that literally go outside from time to time, that touch grass, that travel to places, right? So some of you guys will know what TwitchCon is. Imagine going to TwitchCon, people wearing your merch, and they don't know it's you. You can literally walk by with a huge sense of pride that people like you, love you, but until you open your mouth, they have no idea who you are. And trust me when I say this, you can go through TwitchCon without saying a word. I've done it. So, yeah. There's a benefit to it. But the downside is nobody knows it's you and nobody will believe it's you. For me, it's easy. Move like content around easily. Anxiety now as a VTuber, I'm assuming. Yeah. Can I get a detailed explanation about parasocial relationships? English is my second language. Okay. So, parasocial relationship. Parasocial. Social relationship. Let's actually pull up the actual definition. Okay. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Parasocial relationships are most common with celebrities, organizations such as the sports team, or television stars. Now, you guys ready for a wrench to be thrown into your bicycle tire? You guys ready for this one? No, they're not. They're not necessarily bad. No, they're not necessarily bad. Not at all. Some of them can be really bad, but no, not really. Here's the wrench that I'm going to throw in your guys' bicycle tires and knock off your training wheels. There you go. Fun fact. Streamers can and are parasocial to their audiences as well, especially when you're first starting out. Right? Especially when you're first starting out. You're always wondering where little Timmy is, why little Timmy's not watching. Maybe I shouldn't use the analogy little Timmy. You're wondering why Brittany's not watching your stream. Right? Why or what you didn't do good enough. And why they're not watching you anymore. Right? I when I was a flash tuber, there were audience members that I had. I knew their dog's name. I knew their kid's name. I knew their favorite food. I even knew where in Canada they lived. Some of them weren't that far, to be honest. Right? And even till this day, I get sad because I don't see them around anymore because they were in my Rainbow Six Siege days. Right? They have zero interest in my VTubing content, but I miss them. I miss the friendship. Like, I miss the times we had gaming. But Parasocial goes both ways, chat. It's not just a one-way street. Michelle, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate it. I'm really enjoying the live stream. Really informative. I'm glad. So that's something for you guys that are making content, live streaming, so on and so forth. You can think about. Should I, as a content creator and or a fan, be afraid of forming a parasocial relationship? I don't think so. Parasocial gets a really bad rep because people go too far with it. Right? And when we think about parasocial relationship, it's usually, we think of the people that went too far. Right? Again, having a favorite streamer, having a favorite content creator, somebody that you always want to watch, to a degree, that is a parasocial relationship. You're building a connection with that person. I think if I want to, I'm going to use Scarlett for an example, and I pray to God she never sees this live stream. I love to watch Scarlett. I know a lot about Scarlett. Right? I knew Scarlett before Scarlett was Scarlett. And I will always tune into a Scarlett stream if I have time. I will. Every time if I can. But that's the extent of where that goes. Legit. That is literally the extent of that. I'm not going to go on Twitter and start DMing Scarlett. I'm not going to go and give $100 and be like, will you be my Valentine? I'm not going to go try to hit up Scarlett everywhere that she has an account. Right? There's a healthy a parasocial relationship and there's an unhealthy. There's that very fine line that exists, right? Is there a lot that you can do to cross that line? No, there isn't a lot. That's a very easy line that you can cross, but you got to acknowledge that the relationship that you have with that particular streamer you're watching, yes, it feels like a friendship. Yes, it feels like you know them. But that's all that is. It's just a one-sided thing. At the end of the day, they're not your friend unless you actually form a friendship with them, right? And if you try to pursue a relationship or anything more than just a viewer, that line is now crossed. Don't do it. So, yeah. How do you handle people coming to you for emotional support? I'm too nice to say no. You say no. Lawnmower girl, you say, I'm not a therapist. I'm not trained. I'm not licensed to give any advice. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck. But you got to tell them, no, I can't do that. Sorry. They will be angry with you. They will hate you. That's part of the parasocial relationship. But that is a line you got to create right away. You got to form right away. And you literally do not let that person cross that line. You do not take other people's emotions or other people's issues onto yourself. You cannot do that. You only have enough data or enough bandwidth for you, yourself, and your own problems, not for other people's problems. Let me ask this. Do you believe the VTubing market or VTuber market is stalling and becoming stale? Okay, this is the problem with the VTubing market. Matthew, I like your questions, dude. Awesome. Okay, chat. Do you guys believe the VTuber market is stalling and becoming stale? Let's be honest. Give me a yes, give me a no. That's it. Yes or no. Is it becoming stale? Oh, I'm going to drink some water while you guys answer. Don't really know. To some extent, yes. Some people saying no. Some people saying yes. Okay. Boycat, yes. I agree with you on that one. I don't think so, but it's becoming just more difficult. Okay. So, I'm sorry to do this to you, chat. I'm really sorry. Because this is not just a yes and no question or answer. Not. So there is a yes and there is a no. I read Starlight type DM and I wrote DM. Oh my God, somebody get me like a Tylenol. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Yes, the VTubing market is becoming stale. Here's why. Everyone is seeing others become successful. They think that is the formula to succeed. So they do what the successful people do, right? And that is why we see the vast majority of Twitch, for the most part, and on YouTube as well. I will say that. I say. A lot of what we see on Twitch is pretty much everybody doing the exact same thing as everybody else. It's a copy pasta. Everybody's copy pasta each other, right? That's what it is. If you go to little Timmy playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare to his 3 viewers, right? What's the difference between little Timmy with 3 viewers and Monkey Pie with 25 viewers? On Twitch, what's the difference between little Timmy, 3 viewers, Monkey Pie, 25 viewers? What's the difference? What's the huge difference between the two? Other than a viewership. Talking versus not talking? Sometimes, yeah. Voice, name, yeah. So let's say they had a similar voice. Let's say they had, and they both were communicating pretty much the same amount. What's the difference? Let's say they're both the exact same type of streamer. They're doing the exact same thing. They're both just as talkative. All the qualities are the exact same. What's the difference? For the most part on Twitch. Yeah. Matthew got it. Sometimes they've been around and right, this is a thing that does happen. Sometimes they've been around just a little longer. Sometimes that is the factor, right? Other times, right, there are things like TikTok. They make content elsewhere, right? Sometimes they're more communicative, so on and so forth, blah, 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 right? All those factors. But let's be very honest here. I've seen so many So many people in the 10, 15, 20 that don't do anything other than live streaming. They've just been doing it a little bit longer, so they garnered a little bit more of that audience. And they make content absolutely nowhere else. They just live stream on Twitch 5 days a week, on and off for 4 to 6 hours each stream. It sucks. But that's the vast majority of Twitch, is people doing the exact same thing as everybody else because that they think that's the thing they have to do. That's the successful thing, right? Okay. So everybody's following or doing it with everybody else, and that's why I think it's stale, right? No one is doing anything vastly different to stand out. Okay. Why does Senpai say no? Streaming every day for 2 to 3 hours is still not as good as 5 to 6 hours. Streaming 2 to 3 hours is better than 5 to 6 hours. Streaming only 3 days a week for 2 to 3 hours is better than streaming 5 days a week for 2 to 3 hours. Okay. So, yeah, Toby Arts really literally just said it. The bell curve, diminishing returns. Okay. So, why is the VTubing market not stalling? So, there is a small amount of VTubers. Oh my God. That exist, that are doing things that are not in the norm. And the norm means what everyone else is doing. I actually have an example for this. I got to pull up their YouTube channel. Give me 1 second here. But there is one person I'm going to use for an example right now. She makes some like really good content. I'll be honest with you guys. That really thought outside the box, like Firefox. And it's not gaming related. So, Licorice, she makes content talking about VTubers, talking about different topics, different subjects. Isn't doing what everybody else is doing, right? They aren't in the tutorial sphere. They aren't doing gaming content. They're not doing just chatting streams. They're not doing XYZ and everything else in between. Right? They are making content for VTubers, about VTubers, but on topics and subjects that we're interested in hearing. Right? VTubers need to rebrand, right? One of the top successful videos here that I really loved, I infiltrated VTuber Twitter. I absolutely love that video, right? Another one, don't audition for VTuber agencies. Deep dive, 27K views on that. 27K. Right? She thinks out. They think outside the box. They do. They think outside the box and appeal to not just VTubers, but non-VTubers alike. People that haven't got into it or thinking about it or don't even think about it. Right? However, I don't see new pre-existing audiences foreign to the VTuber market. No one talks about how to make your own characters anymore. Everybody's scared of making their own characters. Do tube drama from commentary community. Yeah. So yeah. but there's other people like that that are in this chat right now that does other things that is different than everyone else, right? There are some of you that do amazing art that is outside the box, right? A lot of VTubers that I see doing art are usually doing art of other VTubers, to popular VTubers even, right? There's some of you guys that are game devs, right? I'm going to use Thornscale because I literally just saw his name pop up. I've seen other people do Star Trek videos, right? And these are two categories that a lot of people, a lot of VTubers don't exist in, right? So, and the cool thing is these particular niches don't always have necessarily VTubers flooded in them, and it allows people to be introduced to VTubers for the very first time, right? Getting interested and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of room for VTubers to grow. There is a lot of content that VTubers haven't discovered yet. There is a lot of content that VTubers aren't doing yet, right? I'm going to show you guys another example real quick here. There are, on this particular website, the vast majority of VTuber content creators exist here. This is where they mostly exist. Right here. Honestly, this is where the vast majority of VTubing content creators exist. On Twitch. And if we go to any category, absolutely any category, and we see VTubers in here, they're doing everything that every other VTuber is doing, with some being a little bit more entertaining, some a little bit better at the game, some a little bit with a high-pitched voice, some with a deep voice, some of them with comedy, some of them with storytelling, some of them with whatever, right? But for the most part, they all exist here doing exactly what everybody else is doing. What VTubers aren't doing, I haven't seen a VTuber that's similar to Moist Critical. There isn't a lot of VTubers out there that are the next Ludwig, right? They try to be, but there isn't, right? There isn't a lot of VTubers, even though I think it's an absolute bloody minefield to go in, but there isn't a lot of VTubers doing politics successfully. There isn't a lot of VTubers doing cooking streams. There isn't a lot of VTubers talking about video games, like not playing, just talking about, right? VTubing doesn't always have to involve you sitting at a screen like I am right now, with a background like I have right now, and just doing whatever. VTubers can go outside too. VTubers can think outside the box too. VTubers can do brand new things that haven't been done yet. But it's comfort in numbers and comfort with what's working. And that's why they're stuck in the yes instead of the no. Because let's be honest. Let's be super honest here. Everybody here on YouTube is a yoink and twist of everybody else. There isn't a lot of people making original content. It's usually people ripping off other people, like this one, JCS Criminal Psychology. Talking literally about this particular person that stuffed their partner into a suitcase. This exists on 4 other different channels. I've listened to other people talk about this particular case 4 different times, and giving their own takes on it. Everybody here is a yoink and twist, but there's a lot of VTubers that aren't going into this particular market, that aren't expanding outside of gaming. It's a very, very, very small percentage that does. Right? Very small percentage. Very small. Oh my god, my throat. I feel like it's hard to want to talk about real stuff as a VTuber because of how much drama they get on Twitter. You know what? If you're getting a lot of drama on Twitter talking about real life stuff, and you're getting a lot of hate for it, guess what? That is success. That is good. That means your content is getting out there, right? That's what you want. That's when you know you're doing it right. When people that aren't interested in VTubing are even watching you. Because let's be honest here, chat. VTuber, the search for VTuber on Google is actually trending downwards nowadays. There isn't as many people that are looking into VTubers or trying to get into VTubers or researching VTubers. Right? The scale has dropped quite a bit. Like quite a bit. I'm trying to find trying to find the chart I saw for the Google Analytics. Term search. Give me a second here, chat. Where is that? Can't find it. But it's literally the term VTuber is trending downwards right now. It really is trending downwards. As such, there isn't a lot of people coming into VTubing. There isn't a lot of people starting to become VTubers, right? That trend has dropped quite dramatically. So on and so forth, right? Even for Hololive, Niji Sanji, a lot of that stuff is trending downwards. So you need to make sure your content appeals not just for people that are interested in VTubers, but people that aren't interested in VTubers. And like that kind of goes back to the discussion we had with Hololive before, is they need to like spread the word of themselves to other people and other media sites and so on and so forth. Because that's the only way you're going to grow a brand or anything nowadays, an audience. So yeah. Java the Cup accidentally started a whole series in a video game that gave literally so many people an idea, but copy got exciting after that. Yeah. How many people do reaction videos to the same thing? Yeah, exactly. There are so many VTubers, content creators, streamers, blah, 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 that literally react to the exact same videos, right? Remember when on Twitch, some of you guys are old enough to remember this, when people would literally watch Gordon Ramsay on live stream, right? I think Trainwreck was one of the first that did it, and then everybody else copied Trainwreck. I believe he was one of the first, right? But a lot of people just copied what everybody else was doing, copying the success. Nobody was innovating something different until Ludwig came around, and then Ludwig did so many things that was different than reacting to Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, the kitchen nightmare trends. Yeah. So would playing an instrument draw in viewers? Yeah, absolutely. Right? There's a person that plays the bass that watches this channel, and he's doing fairly well, right? There's a guy that plays a guitar, that does fairly well, right? There are people that play instruments. I think they would do fantastic if they gave it a shot. Right? A lot of you guys have amazing talents and hobbies that isn't gaming that you could at least experiment and try. You know what would be really cool? A VTuber that's doing actual pressure washing, not playing the bloody video game pressure washer, but a VTuber that's literally walking around in real life pressure washing a house, a driveway, a statue, an ornament, a tree, their duck. I don't care. Using a pressure washer on something, right? It's so doable for a VTuber to do that. You strap a camera to your chest, pointing down, pointing forward towards where the pressure washer is. You got another camera mounted on a head, facing towards you to get all your facial reactions. It's a 2-camera setup that feeds into the one phone and then gets shot off into Twitch or onto YouTube or recorded wirelessly to your van or to your truck, onto your computer or laptop that you have in the van or truck. There are so many things that people can do that they don't. Male VTubers have it harder, not because of sex appeal. Change my mind. Wait. Huh? Wait, what? Male VTubers have it harder? Not because of sex appeal. Yeah, if sex appeal is not a factor, period, then yeah, I agree with that. I think there's a lot of male. Okay, I think there's a lot of female VTubers versus male for right now. Male VTubers are slowly moving up. Okay, here we go. Full stop. So this is one a discussion we've had like a gazillion times. Male versus female VTubers. A lot of people say female VTubers are successful because of Bobuzz. Bobuzz, right? A lot of people say that because they're not safe for work. I don't think any of that's true. There is a lot of female VTubers out there that don't show off Bobuzz, that are very PG, and they are just as successful as the VTubers that have Bobuzz. Right? There aren't any non-binary. There's tons of them. There's tons of them. Tons of them. Just not a lot of them streaming. A lot of them just exist on Twitter and are afraid to stream for some reason. I don't know why. But you guys want to know why male VTubers aren't successful? The real reason why male VTubers get no audience for the most part, right? Because there's a vast majority of male VTubers that literally have nobody watching them. And we did go over this before. We did. Yeah, some of you guys are saying it. They focus on the game and don't talk, right? They don't care about chat for the most part, right? They they could care less if there was somebody donating $5 to $10. Ask me how I know that, right? You guys that are in my Discord, if you haven't joined my Discord, by the way, make sure you guys do. If you haven't hit the subscribe button on this channel, make sure you do. But like, let's be honest. I check you guys out. On the right-hand side of Discord, it shows me who is live streaming right now. I look at people and I check out the streams. Tons and tons and tons of male VTubers that I've watched literally don't say anything. If you use your free Twitch Prime sub on them, they literally get a notification. They physically move their avatar's head to look at the notification. They say nothing, not even a thank you, and they go back into their Call of Duty match or to their ranked match of whatever game they're playing. That's what it is. And this is literally not just male VTubers. This is male streamers. Male streamers have this problem, not just male VTubers. It's both. Okay? You know what else? You know what else? You know what else, chat? What they do? Male streamers, male VTubers, why the vast majority of them are not successful? To be real? Not just they don't focus or they don't talk to chat and they only focus on the game, but when they do talk to you, and I know people that are absolutely like really like bad at the game, and also watch them because they're like fun to talk to. But when they do talk to you, honest to God, chat, it's like talking to someone who never, ever, 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 ever spoke to anyone else in their lifetime. Right? Hey, little Timmy, how you doing today? How's the like? I'll do this. Hey, man, how's the live stream going today? Oh, hey, Senpai, it's going good. Goes back to playing the game. Oh, okay. You know what achievements did you get in the game today? Oh, I got the 100 headshots. Oh, okay. So you got the 100 headshots. Did you do the other achievements? Like running around the map 300 times? No. I wish I had hands because I'm pulling my hair out. But literally, it's a one-way conversation. It's oh, God damn. And listen, I am the king of introverts. I promise you, I really am. I promise you, I was this bad in the beginning too. I really was. Like I was these guys in the very, very beginning of my live streaming career. Very, very beginning. But there are people that have been live streaming on Twitch for 3, 4, 5 years that still do this. Okay, but we're not done. We're not done. Right? Okay. Okay. Another reason why male VTubers and male streamers don't get an audience that stay at like no viewers. Talk about the girl they laid the night before with their friends. I've seen this too many times. I've come across it too many times. Stop it. Stop. I don't know. I don't care about your conquests. Right? Or they're talking about something that's non-PG or related to anything that's happening on stream. Like legit. Yeah. That's another one. Streams with Discord calls, right? Male VTubers love to do that. I don't understand that one. That's another one. They complain. I know I see a lot of small male VTubers do this, not necessarily the ones that are medium size. And by medium size, I'm going to say like over 20 viewers. Again, not all these guys do that, but a decent chunk does. They complain about female VTubers on stream, right? They do literally the same thing as every male VTuber, and that's basically just gaming. Okay, now let's flip it. Let's flip it. Female. Why are female VTubers more successful? And honestly, chat, please, I encourage all of you just to test this yourself. Don't just take my word for this, okay? Please go around, test this yourself, experiment. Let me know your results because I would love to know your guys' results as well. Please try it, okay? And let me know what happens for you. But every female VTuber that I've come across, well, not every, almost every female VTuber, when you say hi, they say hi back. They read chat. Okay? When you ask Timothy how their day was and what they're playing, they go on for minutes at a time about their day or the game or what they are doing. Right? Yeah, Timantha. Okay. Timothy. I'm going to say Timothy. Right? Again, not all of them, not all of them, but the vast majority of them, right? When I go to their live streams, um, it's how do I say this? It's more engaging, less mind numbing. Right? It really is. But they talk to you as a human and not just some other viewer or number. Yeah, way more chat interaction. So this is just some of like the many things that female VTubers do that's far more engaging than the male VTubers. Right? Male VTubers, male streamers, they want to be the next Shroud. They want to be the next XQC. They want to be the next Summit 1G or the Dr. Disrespect. They always want to be the next other person. Female streamers, female VTubers, they for the most part, from what I've personally seen, and again, chat, please check for yourself. Don't just take my word on this. They're not trying to be the next top female streamer like Pokey or Valkyrie. They're not trying to be the next Pokey or Valkyrie. They're trying to be the next them. They're trying to be the next successful version of themselves. They're not aiming to try to be just like someone else. They're trying to aim to just improve themselves. But male VTubers are trying to always be someone else. Male streamers are trying to be someone else. That's what I've seen. Now, some of you guys have mentioned voice. Does voice have something to do with it? If they have a nice voice, yeah, sometimes. But I've seen female VTubers and male VTubers and streamers and so on and so forth that have bad voices that are just as successful, right? Everything's not just based off looks. If it was, Asmongold wouldn't have 40,000 people watching him at a time. He really wouldn't. So, looks, voices, they only go so far. What actually takes you far is the quality of your content. And I'm sorry to say, quality of your content, female VTubers and female streamers tend to care more about than anybody else right now. I hope that changes, but I don't think it will. Right? And one thing I've noticed is when people go watch VTubers, and this is just me personally, this is just my own opinion. They go for an experience, right? They go for an experience / entertainment of some form. Male VTubers, they have the mindset of people come for the game. That's not the case nowadays. Like, do people show up for your, like, the game you're playing? Yes, absolutely. Let's be very honest. That is a thing that it does happen. But it's not solely about the game. They don't care about your high kill streak. They come for the content. They come for the experience. They come for the good times. That what makes them come back. That what makes them remember you and want to come back every single time. Not the endless headshots that nobody's going to remember a week from now. They're not. Right? I don't even remember the headshots I did years ago. Yeah, everybody wants to be the next fake. Yeah, exactly. Alien, my God, dude, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing, buddy? My God. Oh, yeah. Do you recommend any male VTubers to watch that aren't court? I'll be honest, no, not really. Not really. I am probably the worst person to ask. The thing I have seen, there are many that expect to get viewers because they are live without bringing any engagement. Yes, absolutely, Glitch. Absolutely. What if your voice is boring and mediocre? Okay. What if your voice is boring and mediocre? We're doing it, chat. You guys ready for this? I don't think you guys are. You guys want to see boring and mediocre? I'll show you guys boring and mediocre.
Building your own.
After these ads. Oh my God. How to stream with Luppet on Twitch. My name is Anubis Lives. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. PST. Links for my Twitch and all my social media down below. Chat, what am I missing from there? I'm missing pitch. I'm missing passion. I'm missing a good sweater, a good suit. I'm missing personality. Yeah, expression. My voice was very much mediocre. It really is. And a haircut. But seriously, yeah, exactly. You develop over time. You get better over time. Do not like try to be the best version of yourself right off the bat. Don't. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. I had a really bad voice then. Like, legit. So, you guys develop over time. I promise you, you will get better. And I promise you, you'll go back to your video from 2 years ago, from October 7th, 2020, and you're going to cringe. You're all new. You're all beginners. It gets better. I promise you. Seriously, I promise you. It gets better. How do you get so many views? I get none of my streams. Time, practice, and knowing what your audience wants. You got to learn yourself, kitty. You got to learn yourself. You got to figure out who you are, who you want to be as a streamer. Okay, somebody did a $10 donation. I like how this started as a Niji Sanji vid and has derailed into talking about VTubers in general. Good stuff. Yeah, welcome to the live stream. We do that often. And thank you for the 10. I appreciate it. I found that language is another barrier that is being broken bit by bit. English is still the main language for VTubers. Yeah, and I hope we, and this is up to you guys to do. This is what you guys have to do. This is how you guys make the changes. Yes, English is the primary, and it's only the primary because people think it has to be. It doesn't have to be. Stream in your native tongue. Try it out. See how well it works. Aliens, sadly, we're not doing this full time yet. But Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, German, Italian, whatever other languages are out there, right? Streaming your native tongue. Trust me, there's an audience there that doesn't speak English, that hardly speaks English, never or hardly understands English, that wants to watch somebody that is a VTuber that is just like you, but nobody's giving them a chance to find it. You're not giving your audience a chance to discover you. Are you going to find that audience within a month, 2 months, 3 months? No, it's going to take probably a year for them to discover you and find you. Stick with it. Stick with it. Yeah, you can do subtitles even. Hell, yeah. So many things. So many things you guys can do. Oh, all right. But yeah, Alien, I'm not doing this full time. I'll probably hire a full-time employee before I do this full time, to be honest with you. So we're not there yet. I hope to be one day. Seeing if I missed anything else. I thought you were going to show your channel in general as a joke. Yeah, no, it's you gotta, the thing is, you guys see the years of work, Senpai. You guys see Senpai that's developed over time. You didn't see the cringe beginnings. I want you guys to see the beginnings. Right? That's the only way you guys are going to truly know that we're all cringe in the start. Amazing to see you like that, doing good after so long since we last spoke, and keep the good work. Thanks, Alien. I really appreciate that, man. I hope to talk to you more often, buddy. Like, join the Discord and make sure you send me a DM, man. Going from Anubis to VTuber Senpai, because Anubis wasn't good for the channel, to be honest. So, and people never knew what to call me. Either they would call me Anubis or Senpai, so I just went with Senpai. Yeah. Sorry, Matthew, what was yours? So, do you think Ninja only focuses on the new wave? I think Niji focuses on the new wave heavily to get their initial name out there, but I think Niji, for the most part, abandons their waves too quickly. You guys want a really hot take right now? Honestly, and I know like Niji fans will hate me for this, for stating this, but I think it's very much true. There are too many Niji waves coming out. Sometimes we see them once every 6 months. Sometimes we see them every 3 months. We do not give, or Niji does not give enough time for the talent to grow, to form an audience, to be able to plant their flag into the sand. Exactly, Zealous. They're content spamming. And they're doing it in desperation. They need to really stop, allow the talent to settle in, for people to discover the new talent, because like one of the latest waves, I can't remember if it was this current wave or the one before this current wave that just came out, there was a lot of people on Twitter, and you guys can actually fact check this yourself by looking at their tweets if you care about going far enough back. People literally left messages or reply tweets to Niji announcing new wave. They're like, wait a minute, what? The old wave just came out. People were literally complaining in tweets that the old wave just came out. Some people even stated that they didn't even know that that previous wave even came out. Like, so you guys, and that should have been alarming to somebody at the corp. Wait, what? People don't know that this wave already came out? They didn't know about this. They didn't know about that. Like, what the hell? So like that's the thing. That's the thing. So obviously they're pushing out content, or they're not content. They're pushing out talent too fast. Way too fast. So they need to stop. Yeah, Alien. Yeah, no, I remember, man. I remember you did some construction as well and whatnot from in Poland. But yeah. Oh, it's good, dude. It's good. I feel like Niji Sanji still doesn't understand how momentum works. Yeah, to a degree, yeah. But like the problem is they're going off what worked in Japan and they expect it to work here in North America. I'm sorry to say, but what works in Japan doesn't always work in North America. I think Japan has way more of a dedicated fan base to Niji Sanji. Here they don't. They don't. Not as dedicated. Why? Because we have agents, corps like VShojo. We have other options. Other options that we can connect better with sometimes too. So yeah. But that's my hot take. I think Niji Sanji needs to do it once every year. Japan as an idol culture probably helps them. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Absolutely does. Yeah. Um, idol culture is normal in Japan and Korea and all those places. North America, that's not really the case, right? We have our celebrities, usually one or two people that we care about that's in every movie for like 6 months and then we never see them again. And it doesn't work here yet. It can, it eventually can, but not yet. It's still a foreign thing to most North Americans. Yeah. That we never heard of in the West too. Lots of small agencies that get into VTuber specific magazines. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah. If Niji Sanji pumps the brakes a bit, stops recruiting talent, and not only that, you know. Oh, this is good. This is going to be a fuck. This is going to be something that somebody's going to clip, and then Twitter's going to hate me for. But I'm just going to say it too. I get a lot of people that send me their auditions.
Welcome to Senpai's Academy.
Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm just gonna say it how it is then. Here we go. I get a lot of people applying and sending me their auditions, their audition forms, so on and so forth. Right? They are very new to VTubing. They're very they just started out for the most part, so on and so forth. I review it. I tell them, hey, your channel's really small. You might want to build up a thing, an audience, so on and so forth. And they feel pressured to apply again in 3 months when the next wave is out. It doesn't give people time, proper time, to develop their skills, to hone in if this is something they actually want. Right now, I can promise you, Niji Sanji is getting a lot of people that are repeat applicators. I want to say more than 60% or even 70% of the people that are auditioning, that put in their audition forms, are probably repeats from previous generations. If Niji did it once a year instead of once every 3 months, once every 6 months, whatever, it would give people time to develop their content if they were actually interested, but it would also weed out the vast majority that quit within 6 months because they see there's a massive grind and so on and so forth. So a lot of people don't know who they are, don't know what direction they want to go in their content creation career. A year between each gives them that time instead of making them think, oh my God, I gotta apply for this wave. If I don't get in, my life is over. I hate YouTube for streaming wise. No fun interaction like channel points and add-ons like sound alerts. So I applaud you for doing it on YouTube. YouTube is the place where you got to do it. That's why I'm a firm believer that channel points, add-ons, sound alerts, all that fun jazz doesn't make your stream more entertaining, doesn't make your stream more successful. Channel points, add-ons, all that stuff, in a way, I feel, more than a way, but I feel, is giving your viewers something to do without them actually focusing on your stream and being actually interested. Like, people mention on Twitch all the time that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, or no, here's a big one. People complain on YouTube streamers mostly, that they can't use other people's emotes in other people's streams. Well, no, they don't. YouTube has the culture that nobody cares about that. I haven't seen you guys spam emotes. I haven't seen people it's not something that needs to exist on this particular platform. And if Twitch didn't have it, if it didn't exist on Twitch, if that wasn't an option, if that didn't exist, people would be just as engaging. Like, honestly, they would be just as engaging even if the options weren't there. Right? People would still spell out Pog. People will still spell out Pepega. Right? All those things would still exist. So, channel points, so on and so forth. The only people it really benefits is the people at the top. Right? It keeps the people at the top engaged and engaged with the stream. People that have a small viewership, I truly feel it's a hindrance to you, because you guys spend so much time, so much money, so much effort into emotes, into channel points, into redeems, into custom sounds, custom alerts, so on and so forth. And the vast majority of people don't get a return on those investments. I think there was a stat out, I want to say like a year or two ago, that Twitch stated that over 25% of people haven't had their first payout. So there was a lot of people not getting paid out, or more than 25%. So that's part of Twitch culture. Sure. I agree. That's part of Twitch culture, but it doesn't have to be. And let's be honest here, Twitch culture isn't doing Twitch a lot of good favors right now. Let's be real. Twitch just laid off another 500 people on their staff. Twitch culture is killing Twitch. Twitch culture isn't enough to keep Twitch afloat if they're laying off more staff members. And honestly, Twitch culture isn't things that people at the small, in the beginning, the small viewership number should be thinking about when they first start out. They need to think about becoming entertaining, finding themselves, and figuring out what brings people back to each stream. Your emotes, your channel points, your redeems aren't the thing that brings people back to your stream each and every single time. You do. What you do on stream is what brings people back. So that's what people need to focus on when they first start out. Once you get past 15 average viewers, then get your emotes, then get your channel points, then get everything else, because you're making an income, you're making a revenue from Twitch that you can reinvest into your channel points, into your redeems, into your emotes, and so on and so forth. Like, that's how you should do it. But if you're boring, if you're not entertaining, those channel points, those redeems, those emotes are doing absolutely nothing for you. They are doing nothing for you. So, can channel points and all that stuff be redeeming? Yeah, or more engaging to the audience? Yes. If you can even hold an audience. Like, and I'm going to show you guys right now my like the proof. I'm not just talking out of my butt. I'm going to show you guys proof. Browse. Yeah, this is mostly new streamers with barely any viewers. Resident Evil 4. Low to high. Let's go to random streamer. I don't want to pick on anybody too much. But like, look at this chat. All these people streaming to no one. To absolutely no one. Look at all this. How you guys cannot convince me that channel points and anything else will make people stay. You cannot convince me. We just spent so much time scrolling, but let's find somebody that speaks English and that has like a thing, an image. That isn't a VTubers, because I don't want to pick on anybody in our own community. Hardcore playthrough part 2. I'm going to pause their stream. Right? Nothing here. They got channel points. Nobody's using them. They're an affiliate. Great. But nobody's using their emotes. Nobody's using the channel points. Wherever those are. Down here. So, like, honest to God, chat, don't waste your time. Find yourself first. Find yourself first. And you know what? You know what? Let's talk about this. Channel points, emotes are useless when you first start. And I'm going to put this caveat of under 15 viewers. This is not going to be a thing that applies to absolutely everybody. It's going to be different. like for every single person. Right? But for the most part, people get the same 6 types of emotes, right? Usually they get the happy, sad, cry, heart, rage, and there's probably another one. I can't remember the other one. And Pog. Yeah, Pog. Thank you. Okay, so they get these types of emotes. Or, okay, yeah, Sussy is another one too. Yeah, Sussy. Right? So those are the 7 types of emotes that people typically get. Right? Cheer, fine. Okay, no more. No more. Letting me know, okay? So there's 8 types of emotes that people typically get. Right? I hate you guys sometimes. And they usually get it based off their model. And I'm going to talk about like literally just VTubers. But this applies to IRL streamers, but I'm gonna base this on VTubers. But they usually base it off their model. What do VTubers change more than their what do VTubers change more than their underwear? Try to say that 100 times really fast. But there's one thing that VTubers change consistently all the time. Yeah, model. VTubers change their model more times than they change their underwear. They really do. Like, they're always changing their model. Especially when they're first starting out, their first model is the model they absolutely hate. They only got that model because that's the only one they could afford. Or because that's the only one that they could get because it's a free model that they made on VRoid Studio, which is, there's nothing wrong with models on VRoid Studio. But literally, they changed their model. Now that they changed their model, all these emotes that they got are literally useless. Literally useless. Because none of these emotes look like the model that they just got. Right? And VTubers change their model for multiple reasons, right? Sometimes they're a vampire. They became a vampire. Sometimes they go change into a dog. Sometimes they change into a bunny. Sometimes they change into a pillow, right? But they change their emotes super fast, like within 6 months. They do. Within 6 months, their model's already changed. Right? If you're over 15 viewers and making a revenue or an income from Twitch where you can pay for these emotes, different story, because you're not wasting your own money on it. But honestly, the reason why you guys shouldn't do this, if you're under 15 viewers, one simple fact and one simple fact only. You are discovering who you are and what content you want to make. VTuber Senpai wasn't always VTuber Senpai. VTuber Senpai was Anubis Lives who streamed Rainbow Six Siege and Escape from Tarkov. I have emotes that I have commissioned. I have artwork I have commissioned that I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on that are literally useless, sitting in a folder, collecting dust and going absolutely nowhere. Right? So discover yourself, discover what kind of content you want to make, then go from there. Channel points. Let's talk about channel points real quick. Now, channel points, there isn't like a lot of cost to channel points, if any, right? It's a lot of you guys just wasting time, spending time thinking of like cool little unique things. But common channel points you see that a lot of people spend so much time and effort wasting time on is like sound emotes that pop up on stream, or turn off my stream after X amount, right? Other ones are zoom in on my bobas. Other one, they're endless, right? What do all these channel points have in common? At the end of the day, what would your channel points have in common? Yeah, they're distractions. They're not making the stream better. They're literally like a lot of channel points, chat. Like a lot of channel points that you guys and go look for yourself right now. A lot of channel points on small streamers literally do nothing other than waste the points. They don't do anything. Highlight my message? Who cares? Zoom in on my bobas for 15 minutes? How is that making the stream better? How is that making people more engaging? How is that making people want to come back and earn channel points? Honestly. Channel points, what channel points should do is want to make people come back / lurk on your stream to earn more and use them. That's what those should be doing. The vast majority of them are not doing that. Highlight your message is absolutely useless when your chat's flying by a mile a minute. Highlight my message is absolutely useless, especially if you're under 15 viewers, when you're the only one talking. I'm sorry to say, if you have 15 average viewers, you're maybe having 1 or 2 people talking at a time. And you just got them to waste 300 or 1,000 channel points for them to highlight their message that you would have saw already. Channel points need to, and you guys have to think about this for yourself. They need to be able to want to have people come back and earn more. Because those channel points are not transferable to other channels, which means they have to come here and they have to make the biggest investment of it all, and that's their time. Yeah, Glitch, we do that from time to time. Okay. So, channel points, sound emotes, like Annie mentioned, can be fun, can be great for perfectly timed things. But again, under 15 viewers, you usually have 1, 2, maybe 3 people talking at a time, sometimes 5. The vast majority of those people aren't using sound emotes. But if people want to remind people to stretch or take a break, they could do exactly what they do in my live stream. Hey, Senpai, make sure you take a drink of water. Hey, Senpai, make sure you go stretch. People that have been around long enough see people reminding me, see people in my chat reminding me all the time, hey, go drink water. I've seen people do it on Twitch streams. Say, hey, don't forget to go drink water. And guess what? You think they're drinking water every time they do a point redeem? Like, let's be honest. You guys really truly believe streamers are drinking water every time a point redeem is happening? I promise you they aren't. Some will, Some definitely will. Some will be religious to the point they'll give themselves water poisoning. It means nothing. Until you get over a certain point. Now, again, this point is not a hard number for all of you guys. Some of you guys might have a super engaging audience at 5 viewers, right? So this is all different for everybody, okay? And yeah, Flash Tubers is a different story, yeah. And Toodaloo, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Okay. So channel points, emotes, what's another thing? What's another thing that VTubers absolutely waste their time doing and purchasing? Trying to think. My head's hurting right now, so I can't really think that well. There's one more thing. Overlays. Oh my god, yes, overlays. Overlays are a huge one. Are a massive sink. Massive money sink. They really are. Like, honestly, they are a massive money sink, right? Get free ones or nearly free or cheap, right? And the cheap ones are usually ones that anybody can buy, not really customize. But like, honestly, I've seen so many people, so many VTubers spend a super amount of money on overlays. Do it absolutely as free as possible underneath 15 viewers. Once you have money, then literally spend money on overlays. And again, there are going to be exceptions to the rule. But look at the top of VTubers out there. Like, honestly, go look at a whole bunch of them. Not all of them are using overlays when they're streaming and playing games. Where if you're a streamer on Twitch, 80% of your time is streaming a game. Why are you going to have your game in a small, tiny window that's roughly the same size as my whiteboard? How are people going to see minor details in the game that you're playing? How is that improving the viewer experience? Because that's what it is. When you guys are first starting out, you don't have a viewer base. You don't have a community. You have to do whatever you absolutely can to give the best viewing experience when you first start out. Like, you guys are literally giving yourself a handicap. You want me, little Timmy, is that what did you say to me, little Timmy? Senpai, you're wrong? Okay, little Timmy, go look at Twitch right now. Anybody that thinks I'm wrong, go look at Twitch. Look at all, or the majority of VTubers at the streaming to absolutely almost nobody, which is under 5 for the most part. And what do they all have in common? Or the vast majority have in common? Usually overlays. The ones that are 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, what do they have in common? When they're live streaming games, no overlays. Are there exceptions? Yes, there's always going to be exceptions. But overlays really just hinder you guys. And I say little Timmy because I know there's somebody's going to disagree with me in the comments of this video. So get rid of the overlays. You guys don't need them. It doesn't enhance the viewer experience. It doesn't enhance the streaming, the any experience for you guys. It doesn't do anything for the audience. If it did, if it really did, then let's be honest, IRL flesh tubers would be doing it all the time. And yes, there was a time where every flesh tuber had an overlay. Every single one of them. If you didn't have an overlay as a flesh tuber like 2, 5, 4 something years ago, hey dude, you were weird. But flesh tubers have moved away from overlays for a reason. So, can an overlay help you? Yes, eventually it can. Is it something you need absolutely when you're first starting out? No, absolutely not. Yeah, just like the over loud intros in YouTube videos in 2012 that were like super high blasted and made your ears bleed when you first started out. But yeah, that's my take. Under 15 viewers, save your money. Start out with nothing. I promise you, you'll get farther than the people that spend money. Do as free as possible if you absolutely want something. I have no clue the title of this video is talking about. Or lots of different topics. I'm probably going to be streaming for like another few minutes here, to be honest with you guys, because my throat is absolutely sore. What's a flash tuber? Somebody that is an IRL streamer. Creates it creates a sense of identity to streamers, so clips are easy to recognize. Your face is the recognizable part, not your overlays. If people could only recognize you for your overlays on clips and so on and so forth, you got a massive problem. Let's be very honest. They should be recognizing your avatar or you as a person, not the overlay. I don't see it. Yeah, if you guys can, yeah, absolutely, go for it. But chat, we're going to call it there for tonight. I will talk to all of you guys later on. Monday, we'll do another live stream. Thank you all for coming out. I don't know what Monday's topic is going to be about just yet, but we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you join the Discord. We have an amazing community full of amazing mods, amazing people. And I will catch everybody on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Have an amazing weekend. I love you all, and good night.